you doing? You being cute? Schmidty. Hello. It's Alex. Working on the P4. Can you tell I'm ever so happy? So, chrome trim under the dash. You want to remove it? 'Cause I don't. I have done, but I don't want to do it again. That was crap. It's just a stupid job, you know? It's just a little piece of chrome trim that's completely useless. Purely cosmetic. And it was a pain in the backside. I'm going to show you how I got it off. So this is the chrome trim, and it has a bolt here, a bolt here, a bolt here, a bolt there, and a bolt there, and one there, and one there, and one there, and one there, and there's another one that sort of lives in here, but it kind of corroded off by the looks of it and fell on the floor. Completely over-engineered. Why, you know, sort of one there, one in the middle, and one there at the other end wouldn't have been enough. I don't know. So let me just show you inside the car. Now, I would have done a live video of me removing this, but I had never done it before, so I wanted to sort of play on my own. Right, first thing I would advise to do, if you're going to do this job, is just put an old rag over this steering column, because otherwise you'll chip the paint on it and damage it. You will, because it's rubbish. Okay, so the reason I've taken this trim off is because I want to remove the glove box hinges from my second glove box, which I've removed the glove box, but I left the hinges here, but somebody wants the hinges, so I've gone to the effort of removing this trim to get to the bolts to get those hinges out. So yeah, it was a bit awkward. You had the one down here, one there. Now these two are not accessible unless you open the glove box, undo these two screws, which then drops this little panel down, which doesn't do anything. I think is another cosmetic wonder. Once you've dropped that panel down by unscrewing those two screws, you then can access underneath these two nuts and bolts. They're all nuts and bolts, just to be awkward. You've got another nut and bolt that goes through here, one there, another one here, another one tucked up in here. You've got one up here, one here, and another one there. What a pain in the backside. This, I think there's another one here as well, but this one's sort of it's just stuck in there, it's not doing anything. And then once you've undone all those, this is where you end up scratching the place. Once you've undone those, the chrome trim sort of, can you see it's got a ledge? Oop, pardon me. That ledge sort of sticks under this bloody panel, and again it's sort of awkward. You've got to force it up, sort of got to twist it like that, and in the meantime you're scratching your paint. That's why I said put that rag there, and yeah, just watch where it blooming pings out and doesn't damage anything. So that is how you remove that poxy piece of trim, and I just can't wait to put it back in. Oh, and that one bolt you undo, the one bolt, that one I couldn't get to because the flasher unit was in the way, so I've had to take the nut off of that as well and drop that down just so I can get to the blooming thing. Might as well look at restoring these pieces of wood while I'm at it. What's going on behind the dashboard, you might ask, seeing the mess. So I've taken the interior of the second glove box out. I found a massive old hat pin and a couple of old pins sort of shoved in here. So I wonder if it was a lady driver perhaps, or maybe the pins were just used for clearing out the washer jets. Who knows? So I've already put a radio in. I've already wired that in. It's a modern radio. It was £12 from eBay from China. And I just use it because it's got Bluetooth and I can Bluetooth my music straight to it. It's a nice shallow radio, so it doesn't take up a lot of room because it doesn't have a CD drive. Very easy to wire in, all the wiring diagram on top. And yeah, I've opted for no speaker in there because I've got speakers under the seats, little pod speakers. And I thought this was a bit of a wasted space behind here. So what I think the P4 is lacking is a face vent or a sort of interior fan to blow cold air around when it's really hot. There's no way of circulating the air in the cab. Now, this is a bit rubbish, I must admit, because I can't sort of figure out a good way without ruining the car to get fresh air behind this glove box. The only way I could sort of think about getting fresh air up here is the fresh air comes from the vent down here, which obviously blows down here as we're going along. So I thought if I take this interior of the glove box out, there is then a gap down here that leads out into the footwell, and also there's a bit more of a gap to have air in. So I thought, I got this off of eBay for about, I don't know, 12 quid or 18 quid. It's actually a quad bike radiator fan. So it's 12 volt. And I've just made some brackets up and I've bolted it onto this piece. So I'm hoping, once I've got it all back together, I'm hoping that once this radio pushes in, it'll push in against the foam. I've put foam on, stop it rattling. The radio will push up that foam to push the fan in. And I think, pretty sure I've measured the clearance correct, so there's enough room for the radio there. And then obviously the radio fascia panel screws into these holes here. And I've put the wires in already for the fan to run off a switch down there on that auxiliary switch panel she came with. And I'm hoping it will just blow some air around, you know. Either that or it will just rattle like hell. It will certainly do a nice job of cooling my radio because it overlaps slightly. So, no chance of the radio overheating. Let's see how it goes. Okay, fan is installed. It's not rattling. Let's try it. Ignition on. I've got a switch down here that lights up blue. You can hear it. But I tell you what, that is a complete waste of time. I mean, I can feel a breeze, but it's really nothing to shout about. What a shame. Maybe a more powerful fan. The thought was good, wasn't it?